So good morning all. So today we are going to discuss first requirements of an ideal bridge. Okay. Yeah. So first let's see. So because one should know what are the major requirements first, so then we can able to discuss the components and all. So first, so what are the requirements of an ideal bridge? Okay. So one should know this first. So what will be the major requirements, Amma? So the major requirements will be first one. So first of all, whenever you are constructing any bridge, so first let's see whether the bridge is economical or not. Okay. And the second one, whether the functioning of the bridge is safety and whether they are convenience to the public or not. Okay. So that means it should serve the intended functions with safety. Okay. So one ideal bridge should be with safety and it should be convenient to the public. Okay. So that is the second requirement. And what will be the third requirement? So we see whenever, when you are planning for the bridge, it should devote special attention to the design. Okay. So it should have a proper design and please ensure that this design should have an adequate strength. Okay. So whatever you design, sorry guys, net got disconnected. So I have to start it again. Yeah, sorry for that. Guys, is my voice audible?
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
Yes, right. Okay. Yeah. So let me write again from the starting. So requirements of an ideal bridge. Okay. So as we discussed, the first one is your bridge should be economical, right? And the second one is, so it should be safe. So safety is very important and it should be convenient to the public. Isn't it? And the third one, what is the third one? As you told, your bridge should pay an attention in design and that design should lead with an adequate strength. Adequate strength, not only the strength, it should be proper, durable. Guys, you can write the running notes. Okay. So because this is not a PPT, so I can't share this. So please, I request you to please write a running notes. What are the requirements of an ideal bridge? Okay. And the fourth one is, so not only, see, along with the strength and durability, what you can able to achieve, you can achieve which will be your consistency with the safety and cost. So that means it is very prudent that, so we do not special attention in design, right? So to ensure why we give proper attention in the design, to have an adequate strength and durability. So which will be having a consistency with the safety and cost. Okay. So that is also one of the major requirement of an ideal bridge. And next one, so one should take care, it should give aesthetical look. Aesthetically elegant. Okay. Your bridge should have a very aesthetical, elegant look undali. Okay. And what is the next requirement? See, you are supposed to do a reconnaissance survey before start any bridge. Why? Because basically the bridges which across rivers and streams, which are going to be one of the most vulnerable, right? Why? Because major damage to the structures can completely upset the total communication system, right? So that is the reason why reconnaissance survey is very important before starting any kind of bridge at the particular location. So that means reconnaissance survey is very important, making sure that it should not damage nearby environment and it should not damage nearby total communication system. Okay, so it is very important for why this survey is very important for the selection for the type of bridge to be constructed. Okay, for the selection of bridge, to decide which kind of bridge is going to be recommended at the particular location. So that reconnaissance survey is very, very important. Okay, yeah, that's it. So this is what the requirements of an ideal bridge. Got it? Right. So next, let's see what are the classifications of the bridges. Okay. Classification of bridges. So how you are going to classify the bridges, Amma? So the first one, it is going to be classified based on the function. How it is going to be function and purpose. Like, whether you are going for railway bridge or for highway or for footways, nothing but pedestrian walk, or for aqueduct, okay, etc. So this is how the first purpose or the function your bridges are going to be classified, whether for railway or highways or for the footbridges, nothing but pedestrian walk, or for the aqueducts, okay, and all. And the second one, it is based on the material of construction. Okay, so the bridges are going to be classified based on the materials of the construction. Guys, so till yesterday's class, we have seen different types of bridges based on the material, based on the functions and all. Okay, and now you have that, that view to understand. So when we are discussing the theory, okay, so based on the material, what type of materials can be used for bridges, Amma? So you can go for timber bridge, you can go for masonry bridges, or you can go for RCC bridges, or for steel bridges, or PSC bridges, etc. Okay, so based on the material, your bridges are going to be classified. And next one, based on the nature or lifespan. Nature or lifespan. Okay, based on this, your bridges are going to be classified. So what do you mean that nature or lifespan? And so whether your bridge is a temporary bridge or permanent bridge. Got it? Okay, so this is how the lifespan or the nature of the bridges are going to be classified. Okay, whether your bridge is a temporary bridge or a permanent bridge. Guys, you all can able to see the screen, right? Whiteboard under కనిపిస్తుంది కదా? Hello?
Sir, కనిపిస్తుంది sir.
Yeah, fine. Thank you. Right. And next one, it is going to be based on relative position of floor. Okay. Position of floor. Like, what do you mean position of floor? And where you are constructing the bridge, whether you are constructing the bridge within the floor level or in the deep level or in the elevated level. Okay, that is what the position of the floor. Position of floor ante deck anedi ఏ level lo untundi. Okay, so that means deep bridge, elevated bridge, okay, or floor level bridge. Understand, right? For example, let us see, this is the road level. Okay, right? So whether you are constructing the bridge at the floor level, or whether you're constructing the bridge at an elevated level, or whether you are constructing the bridge from the underground. Okay, we call them as the tunnels. So that is how the position of floor is very important. That also will be classified the bridges. Understand? Right. And the next one, it is based on the type of superstructure. Type of superstructure. So what do you mean type of superstructure? What type of bridge it is? Whether it is an arch bridge, or whether it is an girder bridge, or whether it is an truss bridge or suspension bridge. Okay, etc. So like this, again, the bridges are going to be classified based on the type of superstructure, right? And the next one, it is again based on the degree of redundancy. Degree of redundancy. Can anyone tell me what do you mean degree of redundancy? Based on the degree of redundancy also, the bridges are going to be classified. Can anyone tell me, Amma? What do you mean degree of redundancy? How degree of redundancy will classify the bridge? Can anyone? No? So according to degree of redundancy means whether the bridge is a determinate bridge or indeterminate bridge. Okay, got it? So what are the examples of the determinacy? What are the examples of the determinate beam? Can anyone tell me one example? Based on the degree of redundancy, bridges are going to be classified on antonum, right? So which bridges comes under determinate bridges? Can anyone? Guys, you have to respond. See, if none is responding, how can I continue the class? Guys, please. Can anyone tell me one example of a bridge which comes under the determinate bridge? Hello? Guys, are you hearing? Hello? Guys, can anyone respond, please? Hello?
Hello, sir.
See, ఎవరు మాట్లాడుతుంది?
Abhishek.
ఏ అభిషేక్ ఎందుకు ఇంత టైం పడుతుంది రెస్పాండ్ అవ్వడానికి?
సార్ వాయిస్ మీ స్లో వస్తుంది సార్ కొంచెం.
నాది స్లో వస్తుందా?
అవును సార్. ఫుల్ వాల్యూమ్ పెట్టినా కూడా వినపడట్లేదు.
ఇప్పుడు? నౌ?
ఇప్పుడు సేమ్ అంతే ఉంది సార్, స్లో.
No. See, if my voice is not clear, you should tell me, right? మీరు చెప్పాలి కదా, చెప్పకుండా సైలెంట్ గా ఉంటే ఎట్లా? Now is it clear?
సేమ్ సార్, స్లో వస్తుంది వాయిస్.
Others? Can others respond? Is my voice
మంచిగా వినిపిస్తుంది సార్. సార్ మంచిగా వినిపిస్తుంది.
Then see, Abhishek, you have to check your things first. ఒకసారి మీరు చెక్ చేసుకోండి. Okay, right, yeah. Okay, fine. Can anyone tell me an example for the determinate bridge? Simply supported bridges are determinate bridges. Okay, nothing but simply supported beam is a determinate beam, isn't it? Right? So if there is only one span where the bridge is supporting over the two abutments, so that bridges are comes under the determinate bridges. Indeterminate bridges enti? Continuous bridge. Avuna? If the bridges are having a continuous supports, so those bridges comes under the indeterminate bridges. Yes or right? Yes or no? Right? And cantilever bridge will comes under the determinate bridge, isn't it? Right? So like that, you can able to differentiate the bridges based on the degree of redundancy. Okay? Right. And next one, it's again, bridges are classified based on the method of clearance. Method of clearance. What do you mean method of clearance? What do you mean method of clearance, Amma? What do you mean method of clearance? So where it is going to be, one second. So where you are going to construct, I mean, for example, whether the bridges are, using for the navigation or for the cutboard reasons, for the swing bridges, or whether the bridge is a lifting bridge. Okay, so that is how the method of clearance is going to be based. Okay, so that is what about a method of clearance. One second, let me write. I mean to say, whether you are constructing the bridge for a navigation purpose, whether you are constructing the bridge for opening, or I mean opening and closing bridges will be there, right? So like that. And whether your bridges are lifting bridges, there are few bridges which will lift up, so like that, based on that also your bridges are going to be classified. Okay. Sorry, 1 second. What happened? So based on navigation, okay, or for based on the lifting, based on the swing, okay. So that is how bridges are going to be classified. And the last, finally, bridges are going to be classified based on the loadings. Okay, loadings in the sense based on IRC loadings. Okay, whether it is a 70R loading or class A loading, class AA loading, class B loading. Okay, so based on the loadings also your bridges are going to be classified. Okay, so this is how you have to remember all classifications based on the function, materials, nature, position, type of superstructure, degree of redundancy, method of clearance, and based on the loadings. Clear? Right. So next, the classification of bridge again can be classified like this. Let me tell in a different way. Bridges can be classified as a permanent bridges, or temporary bridges. Permanent bridges in the sense permanent, it can be either big permanent bridges or small permanent bridges, and temporary bridges like temporary fixed or like mobile bridge. Okay, like this also you can able to classify your bridges. Understand? Permanent or temporary. Again, permanent ante whether you are constructing a bridge in a very small way or a big way. Okay, and temporary aithe temporary fixed or temporary movable. Okay, so based on that your bridges are going to be classified. Okay, next, again bridges can further be classified based on the materials of constructions, because this is very, very important. So majorly you can differentiate the bridges based on the materials. Okay, so let me discuss that according to material of construction. Classification majorly based on the materials of constructions. Tell me what are the materials can be used for constructing of the bridges. First one, timber bridge. Okay, timber bridges can be in a different ways, like strutted beam under, strutted beam bridges, tied beam bridges, timber truss bridges. Okay, So timber arch bridges, right? Timber cantilever bridges and timber suspension bridges. See, again, timber bridge will be in a different forms. Okay, strut bridges, tide bridges, truss bridges, arches, cantilever bridges, suspension bridges, like that. And next one, masonry bridges. Okay, so as I already discussed, masonry means, so the bridges are going to be constructed with stone as well as brick masonry. Okay, so they will use either stone or bricks for constructing these masonry bridges. Okay, so again, these masonry bridges can be in different forms. Hello, on type 3-hinged arch bridges untai. Okay, and like 2-hinged arches untai. 2-hinged arches masonry bridges untai. Fixed arch bridges untai. So because basically arch bridges will be constructed with masonry materials. Okay, and bow type bridges untai, bow string under, bow string girder bridges. Understand? So like this, all these arch bridges will be constructed based on the materials like bricks or stones. Okay, those bridges comes under the masonry bridges. So all the above arches may be either open type or maybe fixed type. Okay, and the next one is steel bridges. Okay, steel bridges in the sense, so there will be like steel through plate type, complete plate with only plates you can able to construct the steel bridges. Okay, with the plate bridges or steel girder bridges, steel arch bridges, steel bowstring type bridges, steel rigid frame bridges. See, all these you can able to see examples in Google. Okay, you can type steel plate bridges, steel girder bridges, steel arch bridges, steel bowstring bridges, steel rigid frame bridges. Okay, like that, and steel suspension bridges. Okay, and steel movable bridges. Understand? So like this, steel bridges are also can be classified in different ways. Okay, and the next one, very important one, RCC bridge. So usually we see RCC bridges in many cities, metropolitan cities and all. Okay, what are the RCC bridges? Like slab bridge is an RCC bridge. T-beam bridge is an RCC bridge. Okay, rigid frame bridge. Okay, and multiple span portal frame bridge. Okay, like portal frame building laga, there will be portal frame bridges, and barrel bridges, barrel arch bridge. Okay, open spandrel bridges, and again double cantilever bridges. Okay, and bowstring type bridges. Bowstring ante entama. See, you all know bow and string, like banam under like this kind of okay, this kind of bridge. So the bowstring, it will be like this. Okay, exactly in that way. Clear? And next one, floating bridges. Floating bridges. Okay, so what things comes under the floating bridge? Emunte floating bridges lo boat bridges untai. Can anyone seen the boat bridge amma? Boat bridge, everyone telsa boat bridge ani? In few villages you can see few bridges, like they will be constructed in a form of a boat, which usually transport vehicles or transport a huge crowd from one place to other place, like, so they are called boat bridges. Okay, and raft bridges. So because all these bridges will be float in water. Okay, or like a pontoon bridges. You can just type all these types of bridges in Google and you can see them, how they looks like, boat bridges, raft bridges, pontoon bridges and all. Okay, clear? Right. And the next one is permanent small bridges. Permanent small bridges. What are the permanent small bridges? See, you have to be careful. There are two different names: permanent, small bridges. Permanent means the bridge which is permanent. Small means where the spans are very less. Okay, span chala takkuga untundi. Okay, which will be less than 6 meters. Okay, so those comes under the permanent small bridges. What are the permanent small bridges, Amma? The best example is culvert. Culvert is a permanent small bridges. Again, culverts will be in different forms. Pipe culvert untundi. Okay, and next one, box culvert untundi. Pipe culvert ante it will be like this. Box culvert ante it will be in this form. Okay, and next one, arch culvert untundi. Arch ante will be in this form. Okay, and there will be slab culvert untundi, so which will be like this. Okay, and you will have a culvert with beams. Culvert with beams also, and there will be beams like this, and on that there will be a slab. Okay, so all these will be less than 6 meters of span. Okay, span will be less than 6 meters. So these all bridges are called permanent small bridges. Clear, guys? Understood? Yes or no? Permanent small bridges and avi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So this comes under the culverts. Is there any other bridges which are permanent small bridges? There will be. So there are high level causeways, low level causeways, metal dips. Okay, these are also permanent small bridges. You can just see them. Apart from culvert, there will be another permanent small bridge which is a high level causeways. Okay, and next one, low level causeways. I will show you how they looks like. And metal dips. Okay, these are also permanent small bridges. Okay, and the last one is temporary bridges. What are the temporary bridges? So under these temporary bridges, there are timber bridge. So basically timber bridge is a temporary bridge. All types of timber bridge are temporary bridges. Ardhamotna, all types of timber bridges are temporary bridges. And next way, all types of causeways, I mean like steel bridges. Why steel bridges are temporary? Not all steel bridges are temporary. Steel bridges which are movable. Example, which are going to be used for army. Army Bailey bridges under. Okay. Army they never construct bridges as a permanent. Okay. So they will construct bridges only for the temporary passage. Okay. So then after they will dismantle them. Understand? So like that steel bridges. Why they will go with the steel? Why? Because they will have a huge tankers, huge vehicles. Okay. Huge military bunkers will be, vehicles will be there. So to transport them, definitely your bridge should be in a position to carry those loads and matter. So that's why they will go with steel bridge which is movable, basically for army Bailey bridges. And next one, floating bridges, because if you want to transport these all military vehicles and all in water, so definitely they will go with the floating bridges which is a permanent. Okay, all types of floating bridges are going to be a temporary bridges. Example, pontoon bridges. Okay, understood? So these are the different types of bridges based on the materials. Okay, based on the materials of constructions. Okay, so now in the next class we will discuss about what are the components of the bridge, where terminologies are very, very important, because in the previous class I just showed you what are the different components of the bridges, like abutment, pier, bearing, girder, wing wall, duct wall and all. Okay, now in the next class we will discuss about their terminologies. What is abutment? How can you define the abutment? How can you define the pier? How can you define the dirt wall, wing wall, girder and all? Okay, those are very, very important, because whenever you come across any interview, definitely they will ask you to define abutment, define pier, like that. Okay, so in that way, we will be very clear in explaining all these terminologies in the next class. Okay, so now let me show you these high level causeways, low level causeways, what is the pontoon bridges, what is Army Bailey Bridge. Okay, that we will see in a form of a picture. Okay. First of all, let me take attendance. Madhu sir, Ramana. Yeah, so just now I took an attendance. So the class strength is 47. Okay, right. So let's see the what are the different types of bridges. I mean, the new wordings came, right? So let's see them in Google. Which bridges would you like to see? A bridges, Shuddham. So because yesterday we have shown you all different types of bridges, movable bridge. You can just Google them and you can see how the movable bridges will be seen. See, these are all movable bridges. See, if you see the London Bridge, so which is a cantilever bridge which will move, which will open like this. Okay, and this is a bridge which will rotate. Okay, which will rotate 360 degrees. Okay, this is a railway bridge, Hanmata. Okay, movable bridge which is for a railway bridge which will rotate. Understand? Next one. Boat string girder bridge. Let's see how this bow string girder bridge looks like. See, this is what a bow string girder bridge. Okay, allow Jusara. Bowstring. Like this. Okay, it's like, bow. I think everyone know about bow, right? Bow, string, okay, arrow, like that. Bowstring bridges, okay. And yeah, so just now we are talking about floating bridges, right? So floating bridges, nothing but, see, the bridges which floats on water, like this. So this is a pedestrian bridge which is floating on water. Okay, and the other bridge, this is also a bridge which will float on water. So this is what a pontoon floating bridge under. Okay, pontoon. So basically it will be in reservoirs. So meer eppudaina dams దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు please try to observe in reservoir. So there will be like some kind of plastic blocks, so which will float on water. So they are called pontoon floating bridges under. Okay, pontoon. Okay guys, so please try to recollect them. Pontoon. And there is another bridge. See, you can observe it clearly. So like this. So even in this way also floating bridges will be seen. Okay, guys, clear? Right. And what is the other one? Yeah, so there is another bridge which I would like to show, which is lifting, which will lift upward and downward, like a lift bridge. Okay, see this bridge under kanpistunda. Yeah, for the navigation purpose some bridges will open. Okay, but here this bridge will lift, okay, from the floor level to upward direction. Okay, so like this, lifting bridges will be there. Clear? Guys, అర్థమవుతుందా అందరికి? So this is what a vertical lifting. Okay, right, yeah. Okay, this is about a vertical lifting. And let's see what are the high level causeway bridges. High level causeways. So, you know, the longitudinal bridges which are constructed at an elevated heights, okay, low level causes, okay, they are all comes under the causeway bridges. And so the bridges which are constructed for a particular cause, okay, and which are constructed with the low level and high level